Okay, so this summer I interned for UniteGPS, which is a transit solutions company. So my name's Alex Bunnell, and I'm from Wilton, Maine, which is like a really small town in the middle of nowhere. So I'm a marketing major at Paul College, and I'm a senior this year. And UniteGPS is basically everywhere between Portland and San Diego because it's a website, and they do school bus tracking for K through 12. And they also do transit tracking for town transits and universities and things like that. So basically what UniteGPS does is they create custom transit solutions for schools and town transits. What I did was I was in charge of the LinkedIn ads and managing the ads. So I actually created the ads on this website called Promo, which is really easy to use. It's like 15-second clips that just highlight the benefits of UniteGPS, and then I would go in on LinkedIn and basically target superintendents, IT directors, and people of interest. And it was pretty fun to see the whole process from start to finish there. I coordinated meetings, so my boss is actually back there, and he's been my boss for a while because he's my father. And we had like a trip out in Wisconsin, so I basically coordinated all that. Like we rented a car through Turo, which is like the Airbnb of cars, and we stayed in Airbnbs, and it was pretty fun. And I also was in charge of the Zoho CRM software, so we'd send like mass emails to superintendents, just people of interest, just like LinkedIn. And I worked with externally Wildcat Transit here at UNH. We had some meetings with them, Manchester Transit Authority, Manchester, New Hampshire, Shoreline Metro in Sheboygan, Wisconsin, and Shuttle Bus Zoom out of Biddeford, Maine. And the size and scale, there's about 6 employees, 100 customers, and UniteGPS is 100% bootstrapped, and we don't accept any outside investment. So some lessons learned about startups: not accepting outside funds gives 100% control to the employees. So whatever the founders' visions are and the people that work there, it's not tainted by anybody else's influences, which is kind of nice. Every dollar is important, so if you're paying for an email list, it's important to negotiate for every dollar because it's a startup and money doesn't really grow on trees. And I also learned, be the change you want to see in the world. So with a startup, you can really pursue exactly what you want to do, and it seems more fulfilling than other career paths. Some things I learned about myself: I'm no longer afraid to become an entrepreneur because I saw so many elements from start to finish of what it takes. And I guess I'm a little afraid because I realize it's a lot of work, but it's also really fulfilling to do what feels right. And working from home, it's important to set multiple alarms because you're not really commuting, but it's also nice because you have flexible work hours. So if you need to play golf at 3 p.m., you can do that, but then you got to work 2 hours when you get back. So your mental health, like you were saying, is always spot on that way. Some highs and lows. So acquiring the first lead on LinkedIn was definitely a high because I probably spent like 40 hours creating like 5 videos. And after doing all that, we put it on LinkedIn, and finally we got a lead from it, and it was just the best feeling because it's so much time invested in like waiting, and then eventually I think now we're at like 24 videos, so it was pretty busy. And a low is definitely cold calling. It doesn't really work for the transit solution industry. That's what I found out, and people are just so mean when you're cold calling. No one likes a cold caller. And I would just like to thank the Patton family for making this possible, UniteGPS for walking me through this internship, and the UNHE Center for coordinating everything in between.